I've fallen in love with Enshrouded's build system, but one feature I think that's being underutilized at the moment is the farming system, which has the potential to be incredibly useful if you use it in your worlds. So today I'm going to cover the ultimate guide to farming, covering everything you need to know from why to farm, how to get unlimited supplies of enriched farm soil, and how the team could improve on the farming system for future updates. So make sure to use the timestamps below, and if you do find this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more. Now, firstly, farming is available as soon as you unlock the Farmer Craftsman. Following her quests, you'll unlock the seedbed, which allows you to produce seeds from various plants that you find in the wilderness. This can be useful for strengthening the flame, but also for creating potions and spells, or if you're an archer, producing twigs efficiently for easy arrow production. And of course, the big one is producing later game food, which can give huge buffs to your character builds. This saves you a lot of time spent exploring, and the system is incredibly accessible for anyone to play with. So, how do you farm? Simply put, once you've produced seeds from the seed bed, you can place these in your hotbar and then plant them on the ground. Over time, they will grow, and once they've fully sprouted, you can harvest them in return for resources, which you can either use or reinvest in the planter, or perhaps keep them just to make your garden look nice. However, as you progress through the game, you'll be able to create various farm soils, or collect it from the local farms should you wish by digging the ground, and later you can produce the fertilized soil. Now, these aren't just used for production of higher tier seeds, which you can see in the seed planter, or seed bed, sorry, but also add a considerable boost to the growth time. With fertilized soil, you double the speed of growth compared to normal farm soil, and I believe the farm soils double the growth of dirt. There does seem to be an exception to this though, but I do believe it is a bug. So with saffron at the moment, you can place that on sand, you can place it on dirt, farm soil, or even the enriched farm soil, but it seems to grow much faster just on normal dirt versus the others, which is a little confusing. Interestingly though, you can also use the sand to farm other arid plants such as aloe and saffron, though it doesn't impact on their growth cycle at all. And on the subject of arid plants, there is the desert flowers as well. They don't seem to be farmable as of yet, or perhaps it's a bug that I have that's not showing them up in the menu, though I'm not sure what they're actually used for thinking about it. Now, regardless of what you're growing, in almost all cases, you are going to need both time and water for the seeds. So I highly recommend investing in some wells, as well as several seed beds so that you can produce multiple seeds at a time. And if you're on a dedicated server, then please don't be one of those people who just harvest all the resources and go about their business. Please replant the harvested items afterwards. There's nothing worse than returning to empty fields if you need the resources. Also, whilst we are on the subject of dedicated servers, if you do want to enjoy the game with friends using a dedicated server, make sure to check out low.ms. We are partnered with them, and if you use the code Totalxclipse at checkout, you'll receive 20% off your first month. And you'll also be doing a little bit of a kickback to the channel, supporting my Enshrouded content, helping me continue to produce guides like this. So thank you in advance. Now, when it does come to creating farm beds, you can use farm beds, which are producible, followed by placing soil within them using the build hammer. Unfortunately, in every single save that I have, my farm beds have disappeared from the recipe list, which again, I believe is another bug such as the rake bug that many of you are struggling with as well. But personally, I prefer creating my own planters, which are really easy. I built this one with refined wood planks for the borders, and then we have sandstone for the walkway between beds. From here, I'll add dirt with the hammer, followed by using the rake to spread the enriched farm soil across a wide area. Alternatively, if you just want a clean looking farm and you don't want to put that much work into it, I recommend just digging out and spreading a dirt road across the whole area, and then placing your enriched farm soil as it looks pretty clean, as you can see here. Now, when it comes to fertilized soil, it's pretty expensive, and I don't think I've found anywhere in the world that has it freely available. So I highly recommend placing down a square of enriched farm soil and then spreading it out. It's much more efficient to place it down as a block, a large block, rather than individually, because that uses one enriched farm soil each time you place it. But then by spreading it out, you're spreading it for free, and then you can dig this out using the pickaxe to give you pretty much an unlimited supply of enriched farm soil at the cost of just a couple of enriched farm soil to start off with. So hopefully you found that tip useful. If you did, please do remember to hit the thumbs up. And if you have any other tips that you'd like to share with the community, let us know in the comments below. Speaking of tips, I have a few here for you as well. So if you are farming and you're trying to produce items either for the late tier foods or the potions, then I recommend planting those items together so that you have them easily available and you can quickly regrow them for when you want some more as well. And when placing plants, you can use either the snapping tool to make uniformed looking rows of crops like this, or if you really want to maximize space, you can squeeze a few more into certain planters by using the free placement tool, which is done by pressing X when you're placing them. Now, as an archer, any excess plant matter in the early game should also be invested into the seedbed to produce shrubs, as this will allow you to easily grow and harvest twigs. And if you're someone who enjoys using lots of wood when you're building, also consider just building your own little tree farm so that you can produce and harvest wood nearby and easily. On the whole, I am, though, very excited as to what other resources will come as the game develops, and there's definitely the opportunity for us to farm animals as well, which I have no doubt is planned in the long-term development of the game. We just haven't got it yet. And I don't see why they couldn't go more in depth with plant farming as well, such as the use of different soils, specifically for plants found in different areas. Currently, in most cases, you just want to use that enriched soil 99% of the time. But why not allow us to use things like the mycelium to grow shroud pods for shroud liquid and wood, or make those plants that do prefer arid, dry soil to grow in the sand more efficiently? I also have two main qualms with the current system. I abhor that we have to click E each time I want to harvest anything, so just let me hold down E and gather it all at once. Or alternatively, give us the option to produce something like a farming scythe that will allow us to farm the items easier. And secondly, the soil only speeds up growth, and I think this is quite a poor system. Upgrades to the soil should make farming easier in my mind, or more efficient, not more time consuming. Instead of making us plant more plants and harvest more plants from enriched soil, making me click E so much, let me plant and grow at the same speed as farmed soil or normal dirt, and just produce double or quadruple the amount of resources. That way, for the initial investment of better soil, you'll gain more resources with less button spamming. Perhaps I'm in the minority with this though. Do let me know your thoughts below. And if you did find this video helpful, why not check out my guide on 15 tips I wish I knew sooner in Enshrouded after 100 hours of playing the game. But guys, special thanks does go to all of our amazing supporters on Patreon, most notably our Solarclipse patrons, James Owen and Firefless, as well as our Lunas, the Calamity, Ben and Star, and our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Brain Slug. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.